I'm giving myself more editing work here. Look, the ship I'm pulling up right now is not the ship that today's video is about. Obviously, we're doing salvaging the real way. I want to try out the Moth today. But because I signed up for the free fly event as well, which you can do regardless if you paid for the game or not, I want to fly this ship because it's been a while since I've been in a Crusader ship. I want to do some salvaging and do some of that stuff because that stuff does sound like it hits the spot. So we're going to do some actual legitimate salvaging today with the newest salvaging ship in Star Citizen that you can actually go and buy, or you can rent it, which is what we'll be doing today. I'll show you where you can kind of rent it. Oh, that's the cargo bay. Okay. Maybe I haven't flown the Intrepid. That's kind of interesting. Okay. It's a really small ship. It's a really small ship. I like the look of it though. I like the look of most of the Crusader ships, to be honest, but like this is pretty damn cool. So if you want to buy the Moth, it is 8.9 million or something like that. Yeah, okay, so if you want to buy the Moth, it is 8.9 million at Levski, it is 8.4 million at Lorville. If you want to rent it, because it is a rentable salvage ship and is the biggest rentable salvage ship, you can actually go to like Arc L2, you can go to Levski, you can go to Mick L5, Arc L4, Arc L1, Crew L1, Her L1, Her L2, Lorville, Nyx Gateway, Mick L2, Mick L1, or you can go to the Pyro Gateway in Stanton. Also Nyx Gateway specifically in Pyro. I do want to specify that. But there's loads of places you can rent this from, and for 228,000 AUEC a day. Now, we're going to only rent it for one day, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it that much. But we're going to go to Arc L1, because it's closer than the place I was originally planning on going. And we're going to go rent a Moth, which I think is a pretty cool idea for a ship. Now, the Moth, for those of you who don't know, I have a Fortune, which is my biggest salvaging ship right now. I also have a Salvation thanks to the free fly event. But the Moth can mulch anything, or munch anything smaller than a... Holy crap, this thing is agile. But the Moth can munch anything smaller than an M2 or an A2 or any of the 2 series of the Crusader ships. So anything smaller than that, it can munch, apparently, according to the wiki of it. And I really want to test it out because it's not worth that much in terms of like renting it. And I really want to see how it works. So we're going to go ahead and do this because I really only have experience with small salvaging ships. This is the first medium salvaging ship that I'm going to get to use, which I think is pretty awesome. I'm actually really excited for this because I love doing salvaging. I love doing salvaging the way that I showed in the salvage video, where you can literally earn millions that way. I don't know if it's quite as possible now. Not in Stanton anyway. If you want to do it that way and make millions, you have to go to Nyx to do it. But I also like doing salvaging the normal way. Who would have thunk it? So we're going to go do that today. I want to clarify, the Moth can munch anything that is the 600i or smaller. Okay. So the Moth, you can see, you can get the mole for 2... Actually, it's the same. It's the exact same. That's so cool. It makes sense, because one is literally just the other version of the other. This is for salvage. This is for whatever. I'm only going to rent it for the day. I think we'll see how much money we make today. So I kind of forgot about this ship, because it kind of flew under my radar due to the way that I was doing salvaging for such a long time. And recently I was like, I kind of really feel like doing salvaging again, like just normally. Because it still makes a decent amount of money. And I was just like, I kind of don't want to use the Fortune, though, because it's kind of a hassle. That's like the one advantage of the Vulture, which I don't have, is that it's not as much of a hassle. It's still kind of a hassle, but it's not as much of a hassle. But I've been using the Salvation, or the Fortune, which is kind of a pain in the ass to use sometimes. And then I remembered, wait, the Moth got released with 4.9. Why am I not using a Moth? Then I realized how expensive they were, and then I realized you can rent them. So all of that got rectified in about 5 minutes. And we're going to go use it real quick because I want to test it out. I really do. The SKU size is pretty big. at 200 and I already forgot. At 224, so it's a little bit bigger than the Raft's cargo space for the same kind of size of a ship. I don't know how its cargo grid works. I'm not going to lie. Because it is the same as the... So that's the cargo bay. Oh! Oh! Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay. Okay, so it can shoot out, I'm going to say 8 SKU boxes, then? That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, and then it has its normal cargo pad here, too. So it's basically different brand. Basically a bigger Fortune. It's not a bigger Raft, it's a bigger Fortune. And it's also the same size as the Mole normally. So I guess that would mean... I'm not sure how I feel about this. I need to find the places where the turrets would be for the mining ship. Did not want to go down. Yeah, because this is all the same as the Mole, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if this is this a mining turret? I don't remember. Yes, this is the front mining turret. Why is it not letting me stay down here? So I just want to see... This is probably going to be really bad, actually. I just realized. Because on the other ship... So if I turn this on... Power on. Okay, so it has the scrapper module, it has the... Okay, so it has the cinch scrapper module and the braid scrapper module. Okay. So it has both. So then would be only the question of how do I munch? You know, that's kind of my only question right now. The ladder's a little bit annoying. That's fine. Now wasn't gonna let me go up. Ladder's a bit annoying, but that's okay. That's just something you can get. Why Star Citizen and ladders? Why? Why? Okay. Yes, that is normal. Alright, so I'm going to assume, because yeah, these are the bad boys that do the reach out and touch faith. Hate myself for that one. These are the bad boys that will reach out and disintegrate and then fracture them, or fracture them and then disintegrate. These are the bad boys that'll do it. So I'm really interested in this, and I don't know if it'll be the co-pilot seat that does it or not. Kind of hoping it's the pilot seat that does it, but we'll see in a second. Oh, shit. Okay. First thing we have to do is obviously accept a contract. I'm going to accept something smaller than an M2 because they can't do M2s or A2s or any of the C2s or any of that stuff. So I'm going to look for, hey, we can salvage a Mole or a 400i. Let's go do the 400i. It's a weird looking ship. I'm okay with it though. It is the pilot seat. I'm so happy right now. Oh my god, I am so happy. This is the best thing in the universe ever. Yeah, I don't care if you're a fan of the Salvation or the Reclaimer or any of the... This tops all of them. Because at least this grid... So I know it can't munch the ships that the Reclaimer can. Obviously, it's too small for that. But the grid, it looks easily accessible and looks pretty well thought out. The fracturing stuff looks really cool, and also the fact that I can just kind of turn around and then drop down and get into one of the lasers. Now, I'm sure there's 2 more, because on the normal... Oh, maybe there aren't. No, there are. There are. I see them. Okay. So there are 3 salvaging turrets on this thing, just like with the Mole that has 3 mining turrets. This has 3 salvaging turrets. So one essentially could just be for the pilot to like turn around and go down and then be in the 3rd turret, and the other 2 could be for like 2 friends of yours, or you could have 4 people on this as well. That also would work. But it can 100% still be done solo, because you would just use the front turret like I'm going to use. I'm not sure if it allows you to switch out the heads though. I'm going to assume it can and will, but I'm not 100% sure. What I'm also keen to know is how much skew it can store before having to eject. And also what I'm keen to know, because I haven't seen that room yet, is where I eject the skew from. Because I genuinely don't know. But this thing looks badass. It does have the 3 salvaging turrets, which is fantastic. Look at, so all of that space in there is skew. Where it looks really thin there, that's where all of the skew would drop out most likely. And I think it might be able to do 3 crates per one of those 6. I think that would make the most amount of sense to me if it does 3, maybe 4, but I think 4 might be stretching it. I think it's 3, but we'll find out because we're going to be using the ship all day today to figure out what its limitations are, what its benefits are. But right now, just because I'm a little bit biased from the looks and the way that the grid is laid out, I think I like it better than I like any of the other ships I've played with. You might actually want a pilot, to be honest, because you do still need to move the ship when you're done tractor beaming a ship. So maybe might still be within your best interest to do it with 4 people. Or 2, and you just have one dude on a turret and the other one pilot. Like, I mean, it's still doable either way. Or even 3 and just, like, you only use the side turrets, I guess. That would also work. But, you know, any job can be made easier if you have more than one person, to be honest, in Star Citizen. That's not anything new. I'm gonna move up a bit because the turret's underneath me. Oh! That is not obvious. Okay. So, yeah, you can craft... Oh, you can craft... Oh, I have... You can craft things like fuses and stuff. Okay. You can also buy, like, craft the SRT canisters and attachments and... Oh, my God. Tractor beam attachment of pyro Moth. Okay, yeah. You could... Okay, so you can craft all the things. It has a maximum internal storage of 64 skew. That's actually really impressive. So I feel like this is the best time to address some of the issues with the Moth, because there are some issues. So sometimes the screens to eject cargo break, like flat out they break. When this happens, sometimes you can just turn the ship off and back on again, and then hit eject, and then they'll continue to eject with auto eject. Sometimes only one of the 2 screens will work. When that happens, you have to actually park your ship at a landing pad and then claim the ship back. Sometimes when auto-ejecting, when the ship gets full, the thing will say, oh, the cargo, like the conveyor belt is full, so please, like, clear it and then press the eject button. It will not let you hit the eject button. So you need to store the ship and then take it back out, and then it'll actually produce those 2 cubes, and then you can continue on as normal. Also, the reason salvaging is, like, my favorite job is because it feels like Power Wash Simulator, and it's just super satisfying to watch, I'm not gonna lie. And do. Nope, not down the damn ladder. I didn't say that. I said go forward. God damn. We need to stop that. Wants to go down when I don't want to go down. Does not want to go down when I do want to go down. That describes Star Citizen pretty perfectly, I'm not gonna lie. Look at those. Look at those boys. This is 26.5 skew. Goddamn. Alright, so we're gonna start fracturing. Look at the waves being sent out from those. That is so cool. My job is so cool, guys. I love this. I get to play video games. I get to experiment with, like, really cool sci-fi stuff. I like it. This is fun. And actually, I think my favorite part of YouTube is not even necessarily the playing the video games. It's actually interacting with you guys. Like, the comments and interacting with people and just having fun conversations. That's what I like the most about it. Some people might be like, oh, that's BS, and I'm just gonna be like, no, it's really not. This is genuinely my favorite part of... Like, talking to people is my favorite part of YouTube, for sure. That radius, though. Can I get that piece before it floats away? Please. Yeah. This is the main one anyway. This is the big piece. That's the main thing we want anyway. But any bonus is nice. Let's go find out if we can do a bigger skew now. Because those construction materials are going to be the thing that are worth more. So no, it is only 8 skew. It takes 24 seconds to eject, apparently. That is insane. I mean, you have to think, like, it has to fill the box, and then it has to deposit the box. So it does make sense. I am gonna tell these to auto-eject, actually. So, actually insane, by the way. Construction materials sell, depending where you sell them at, for 14k. I'm gonna do everything at TDD Area 18, which is 12k. So I don't even know what to think about the numbers right now. Hold on. I need to get in the chair and figure this out. But yeah, so we're gonna go into here. We're gonna go into the actual station itself. We're gonna set up a work order. We have 6,400, yep, 64 skew of the quantity here. We're gonna select an option. Now, if I wanted to take my sweet ass time, we'd do dinks. It would take 6 hours and 24 minutes. I don't want to do that. I'm going to do pyrometric because it is the best, arguably. It's only going to take 1 hour, but it's 3,000 credits to do. 1 hour, 4 minutes. So I guess I'll see you guys in an hour and 4 minutes or so. Oh, wait. Hello, everybody. I just want to subvert expectations real quick. I have been asked multiple times how much money this makes me per hour. Issue is this is salvaging and you have to do refining. So you're not actually making money per hour. You're making money per trip. So in the Moth, a fully loaded Moth, which is around 196 skew just from salvaging if you're not putting them onto the elevator, plus the extra 64 skew that you can have in reserve, is anywhere from, I want to say, 500,000 to maybe 750,000. So that's just one trip of a fully loaded Moth ready to go. And it takes about 2 hours to refine that amount of skew into actual construction materials. So it takes quite a while. But I don't calculate money when it comes to salvaging based off of an hour, unless it's me just grabbing guns off of the ship, me grabbing cargo off the ship. When it comes to this stuff, it's money per trip. So you're roughly making 750,000 per trip if you're fully filling the Moth and selling it to the highest bidder.
Hi, me again. I'm in a Moth. A couple days later. This is after the live stream that I did for the recording. If you want to know how much money this can make you, check it out. Stick around for a bit. So I want to specify, yesterday, if you haven't watched the live stream, I only got 1.5 runs done. So whatever number I'm about to show you, it could be so much more. Damn. 756,000 credits. Just from 1.5 trips of mulching ships. So that's about 6, maybe 8, depending on the run. 6 to 8 ships just munched. Not salvaged, not like scraped, just munched. 756,000. And the most time consuming part of that is obviously, actually I just earned way more than that. Holy I was at 900,000. I'm now at 1 million. I'm 1.7 million now. So just from literally munching 6 to 8 ships, the only time consuming process, of course, being the refining. But anyway, just wanted to show that's how much money I just made. Unlike what the game said, I actually earned 846,720 credits from that run, so pretty interesting. With that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope to see you all next time. Please leave a comment down below. Anything else you would like to see in the future, please leave a like and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated and helps me out a ton. YouTube thinks you'll like this video.